I wasn't looking forward to being a grandparent. We have very complicated, difficult relationships with two of our daughters-in-laws.
Boy, these mother-in-laws be crazy as hell.
My mother-in-law has never liked me.
Mother-in-law secretly recorded me giving birth.
She was trying to get my mom kicked out of my wedding.
I told my husband a long time ago that this day was going to come, and it came.
They saved a seat for my husband's ex-girlfriend, but not for me.
She was kicking and screaming at the door.
Came barging into our room.
Mother-in-laws from the guy's side, I want to know why y'all be acting like that.
To me, that's instant divorce.
She knew that we were telling her that we were pregnant, and that was her response. And after that, she hasn't spoken to me since February of 2019.
Valentine's night, you came over, made sure you ate. And then when you were finished, you expected me to take your plate.
In the Nigerian culture, you are supposed to take your mother-in-law's plate. Yes. If you know you want to marry my son, you are supposed to respect me.
What's up, you guys? It's your girl Sandy. Welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another episode of The World is Ghetto. Yes, y'all, welcome back to another episode. Today we're taking it down the lane of toxic mother-in-laws, deranged mother-in-laws, the mama-in-laws that make you wanna just cut off the whole family, bruh. Like, y'all just imagine this. Y'all just finished a nice family dinner. You're just sitting there talking to the family, and your mother-in-law just looking at you, giving you the stare of the death stare. Not because the food wasn't good, not because the conversation is dry, but because you ain't get your ass up quick enough to go to her motherfucking side where she's sitting on, pick up her plate, and take it to the goddamn kitchen and wash it. That's what we talk about. And I know a lot of people have seen this before, have seen that clip of the African mama, Nigerian mama demanding. Okay, she was demanding. So I know a lot of people have seen it, but these brought a lot of attention to different other people's dynamics, like everyday people who are not being displayed on TV. They came up on TikTok giving their 2 cents. They're showcasing their mother-in-laws in their craziest moments, and I'm like, damn, is this what it really is? And we want to find out, like, what is the root of the problem? Do the mothers don't want their sons to get married at all? Do they want to be like in that relationship as well, or do they want to be considered higher than the mother, the son's wife, or the son's fiance, son's baby, mother, the child's mother? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just brought so many topics, and it's a great one because I know a lot of y'all can relate to this, because I know some of y'all will be like, yeah, y'all don't want to talk about my mama-in-law shit. Yeah, so we gonna be down in the comment section like we always do. I hope you guys are ready for this one. Remember, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're new to this page, make sure you hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell, and let's get right into it.
By now, we've all seen the video of the Nigerian mother-in-law shouting at that African-American lady on TikTok. I am your mother-in-law. When I tell you to bring the plate, you bring the plate. When I tell you to wash the plate, or whatever it is they were arguing about. It is our culture. It's our... You see one thing about horse, actually, wait, why am I saying horse? I have to let you know I'm Nigerian, Abi. We've got age factor. I play too much. But you know one thing about us Nigerians, yeah? We use disrespect as culture. Like, the amount of cultures we have, even me as a Nigerian, I've missed it. I've forgotten it. Because, boy, oh boy, no mother-in-law is talking to me like that. You and who? No mother-in-law is talking to me back because what are you? I don't care how old you are. You're not going to speak to me like that. That's disrespectful. You're not going to speak to another human like that. And honestly, this is one thing I always say to non-Nigerians that marry into Nigerian family. These are part of the edicts you're going to face. We've seen it all over social media where some ladies have come out to talk about, oh my God, marrying into Nigerian, besides the Nigerian man. Sometimes they even marry an amazing Nigerian man, but it is the family members, the way they give them hell. And we call it culture. Come on, we need to stop this behavior. We need to stop it. It's not good. We need to stop it. You're giving patience ozoku. Come on. You're giving madagagu. Stop. We, all of Nigerians and all Nigerian women are not like this. Stop spoiling us and making us look like we are witches and wizards when we're not. Some mother-in-laws, even us Nigerian, some of us Nigerian women, I'm sorry, we cannot marry into certain family. The minute I meet a mother-in-law and she's acting like Patience Ozoku or she's acting like Mother Gagu like that, I'm leaving your son. Because Kilode,
I'm gonna give my 2 cents, being that I'm from East Africa and we've just seen being showcased from West Africa, that's in Nigeria. Traditions are similar and different at the same time. Like in my culture, I would say some people, like a lot of traditions have been left behind, washed over. Like a lot of people don't do the old stuff that was just there. Like some traditions are just dumb and stupid. You know what I'm saying? So you may go to different parts of Africa. Like I come from East Africa. Like that was West Africa, Nigeria, West Africa. They're way more stunned when it comes to their traditions. Like they don't play about it. But one thing about it is it's a way you can actually treat people, bro. I'm not picking up your plate. That's period. I don't care who you are, tradition, culture or not. I am not picking up your plate. You are old as hell, bro. Get your ass up. Go take the plate and put it. I ain't putting it. If that's the deal breaker and the family breaks up from that, me not picking up a plate, oh well. I do not care, because I will be damned if someone wants me to worship them just because they gave birth to this guy that I'm falling in love with. You must be out of your mind knowing there's billions of men out here. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. It's crazy. Some traditions are different, but like, I'm just gonna say this for those mamas like in still practicing that African tradition, you wanna just suppress your daughter-in-law, you wanna put them through hell because you went through hell in your own marriage. I feel like it's projection, because some of them just can't see how someone can love and someone can, you know, they want their sons to be like some sort of authority. You gotta bow down, clean his feet as soon as he walk through the door, take his coat off, take his shoes off. You a damn lie. You need to wake up. We in 2025, honey. We ain't doing none of that. Everybody has to be responsible for themselves. I understand the role between a man and a woman, but there's no way you go, I'm be bending, bowing down as soon as I'm just watching your plate as I eat to make sure, oh, she just finished her last scoop, let me stand my ass up and take it again. No, I don't care. I don't care to be in this family. Nigga, the fuck? Yeah, you not doing that with people. And I feel like even other people, like for example, like she was the daughter-in-law was from an African American. Yeah, she's African American, but some African American, I was even shocked she didn't turn up. Some other African American girls would have turned their hell up on their mama, bro. Like turned up, like she was even lenient. The girl here was so lenient. She even said yes ma'am, and she looked down and she's like, you don't have to shout. What? You clapping, you shouting, all that shit. I'm doing the same, because one thing about African culture, like elders expect you, they don't care. As long as you're younger than them, they expect respect. Sorry to bust your bubble, honey. Respect is earned. I don't care if you're 1,000 years old. I don't care if you're 10 years old, if you're 2 years old. A baby is gonna give respect. Is respect is earned. You're not gonna come here like just because you're older than me. Like some aunties in the African cultures be like that. They be like that. They be like just nasty, rude, want to feel above, just want you to adore, like call them names. When you call them a certain name, they get offended. When you call them by their first name, like, why you offended when I call you by your first name? That's the name you was given, honey. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's just too many dynamics. And it's like, I'm gonna tell you guys, for those African girls who know better, do not let your mother-in-law put you in these situations, bro. For those African girls like who have mothers who you know they're toxic, bruh, just let her know, like, baby, it's a new world. Ain't nobody taking that. Ain't nobody taking that. Oh shit. Now let's just keep moving on.
I'm gonna post it on Facebook.
But you've ruined my whole
13 likes.
You've ruined everything. You've ruined my whole
I think we just
pregnancy announcement.
Auntie Beverly's commented
it's not
on
taking it. I don't care who's commented on it. No one should be commenting on anything, because I haven't asked you to post anything about me being pregnant. I asked you to keep it private until we were ready to say.
Get over yourself, love.
What do you mean, get over myself?
Too far. You would have done a post tomorrow or something anyway.
I'm your son's girlfriend.
I know
you're speaking to me
fine.
like that.
I thought I'm going to let everybody know.
You've not just upset me. You know, you've really upset David as well.
Social media. David's not really bothered.
Yes, he is.
I don't think he is.
You've ruined our pregnancy announcement. We might not get this opportunity again. It's our first child, and we don't think we'll.
I just think you're being a bit of a missy. Right, you need to just get over it.
No, I don't need to get over it. Who are you talking to?
Think about it. Just get over it. You're just taking it too far, you and David.
If you carry on like this, I'm not even going to let you see the baby at this point, because you're just being ridiculous.
Is this? Well, you can have another baby.
Well, we might not get the opportunity to have another baby.
Of course you will.
Well, we might not. I don't even think I want another child. I only want one child.
So it was our gender reveal, and look at my mother-in-law. She literally tried to rob her son in the middle, and I had told my sister to record during this time to see how she reacts. Look at her, like mentally unstable, trying to get their decorations out. Like, what hyper mother-in-law does this? And I'm so happy that my husband got his shit together and he came swinging me off their feet, honey. Like, y'all can see this in slow motion. This was crazy. Like, we literally saw her coming and we knew what was gonna happen. And my husband stood on business, honey. Swooped me up, scooped me, took me away from the demon mother-in-law that she is. That woman wanted to ruin our situation so bad that she just figured out, okay, ain't shit working. I gotta get something else to do. Let me find something. Oh, decorations? Let me go ruin it for them. They not gonna see this shit. Let's ruin it. Look at her. Oompa Loompa ass. Look at her. Ooh, look at her. She looking at it like, oh yeah, where could I destroy? Dumbass hoe.
Okay. Oh my God, how great! No, I'm gonna stop. You good? No, I'm good. You just completely stole our moment.
Come on then.
This was right. This is our baby, and the gender. No, it's not like I'm worried. I just want to address it because I don't think this was right.
I'm excited that you had your baby.
Well, you didn't allow him to hug me. I'm his wife. You didn't allow him to hug me.
Yeah.
Are you sure every day? Like, what's the problem?
Yes, but then we just found out we're gonna have a little baby girl.
It's fine.
And I just told you that it's my first granddaughter.
You screwed yourself at it. I'm crazy.
Come on, everyone's happy. Come on, let's.
No. Wait a minute, no. Go on.
I don't think this is right because you just literally threw yourself at Dane, ended up on the sofa. He couldn't even like hug me.
Right, listen, are you a little bit hormonal? Why is everyone starting at me and attacking me? Come on, love. Honestly, we've had a nice day. We'll tidy all this up.
Like you said, we had a nice day. We had a nice day, and I'm done with this. I'm done.
I can't believe that it's been 4 years that I've been dealing with the shit with my mother-in-law, and she thinks she's slick. She comes over today and she thinks she's slick, but every chance she gets in a corner and she starts talking shit about me, and I am so fucking over it. She thinks she's like, watch, you'll see. She gets in the corner of the house, she starts talking her shit, and my husband just allows it. He just allows it. What's the problem? ¿Cuál es el problema?
Baby, no empiezas a grabar.
No, siempre, every time. Vienes a mi casa siempre a hablar. Hablar. No me dice las cosas a mi cara, and you allow it.
Baby,
and you allow it.
I'm talking to her.
If you don't put her in her place, I'm either going to divorce you, or you could just...
No seas mil veces pendeja, no seas mil veces.
¿Qué me acabas de decir?
Primero fui yo que tú, ¿qué te pasa?
Pues cásate con él, como lo quieres tanto. Cásate con él. Go, marry her. You call me a pendejo and you just stood there like a pendejo and you allowed it.
Okay, we're not disrespecting me because I didn't disrespect you.
You didn't disrespect me.
I didn't.
Because you weren't outside the entire time, not standing up for me.
I was telling her that she couldn't be talking about you like that.
And what time? I didn't hear that.
I was there.
I was there. Not once did you stick up for me. I had to literally fend for myself outside. Literally.
I was telling her that she needed to go.
You realize that I'm the one that invited her to this house?
I know, that's why it's weird that she was talking crap.
Right. And then she has the audacity to say something about my kids. You know, when it comes to our kids, it's on fucking sight.
Yeah, that's why I was saying like that she needed to leave.
That she needed to leave? No, what you were saying that is, I need to stop recording. You need to stop recording. You need to go back inside.
People doesn't need to know our personal life.
I don't record for people. I record for myself. I record for records. Because I don't want no one to think that I'm making shit up and that I'm going crazy.
Yeah, but you don't need to post it online.
I can do whatever the hell I want. Especially with a man that's disrespectful. Make up your mind. What do you want to do? Are you gonna have her in your life or not?
That's my mother.
I'm your wife.
I know.
You want to lose your family?
I don't want to lose my family.
What did you just say?
That I'm bringing the kids to my mom's because she wants to see them.
You're not bringing no kids to your mom. You're not bringing the kids over. Do you want the kids around somebody that talks poorly about their mother all the time?
I'm not gonna let her do that.
I will never put my kids in a room with someone that talks poorly about the woman that has created them. It will never happen.
Everything's gonna be solved. But you know, she wants to see them. She misses.
She doesn't get that. She doesn't get that privilege. She doesn't get that privilege anymore. She doesn't get that privilege anymore. You either put her in
her grandkids.
Poor excuse of a grandmother for her to even call them her grandkids. That's hilarious. You either put her in her place. You either put her in her place or you just cut her off completely. That's if you care about your family.
I am putting her in her place.
You are putting her in her place?
Yeah, I'm not letting her come over here.
Jaime, you know what? I'm just gonna take the kids and I'm gonna go. When you figure...
Where are you gonna go? What are you talking about?
Don't worry about it.
You're not going anywhere with my kids.
With your kid. Yeah, baby.
Okay, mommy guys.
All right, JC, your turn. Good job. You're my baby. You ready to go?
Look.
Oh, wow, you did a good job. Yes, you ready? I just got to my parents' house, and the kids are obviously having fun over there with una abuela. But hopefully in the days that I'm here, Jaime gets his priorities straight. Ooh, that was good. I don't know. I'm just exhausted.
No, pero no se lo deje todo a él. Deja al muchacho aquí y regresa con calma y habla con él.
I've tried. That's why I'm here. I've tried.
You gotta try harder.
Hey y'all, so my son's fiance just called me, and I muted the phone and told her that I had to get something taken care of real quick before I could talk, but to go ahead and hang on. So anyway, let me see what she needs. I'm back. Hi there, I'm back. Hi Tina.
Now, I hope you're not mad about the other day, but I just want to call you because, you know, I haven't had a job for a while, and I have a purse on layaway for my wedding. You know, I hate to ask you this, but can you loan me some money to go get that purse? It's a Gucci purse.
You seriously want? You're not working.
Your son, he haven't bring enough money home. We barely can afford our bills. And he's been taking times off, so his paycheck is really short this month. And we barely can pay in our bills. And I really, really need that Gucci purse
you
for
do
the
not.
wedding.
You think you need a Gucci purse, so you're going to borrow money for that, and you're not working.
Yeah, but because I want a classy wedding, and that's going to be for my honeymoon.
Okay.
Can I just loan some money? I'll pay you back. It's not like I'm not going to pay you back.
No, I'm not loaning you any money for a Gucci purse. You don't even work. If you worked and you needed money for something important, then yes.
Michelle, please understand that I try to get a job. Like, it's so hard to get a job, Michelle. And I've been planning this wedding thing. It takes a lot of my days. Like, I literally plan every single thing. We don't have money for a wedding planner. We really don't. So, are you going to let me borrow the money or no? Just stay here.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, and that's why your son don't want to come home, because the way you act. Like, you're so cheap. You're cheap. You are so cheap.
I am not
like, that's
cheap.
Why your son do not want to come home. He talks shit about you all the time to me, and I see why. I see why.
Okay, we're done talking.
You don't need to, like, you know what? You don't come to the wedding.
It's my son's wedding too. Well, okay. She hung up on me. That's fine. That's why I record my conversations, because I need proof to show to my son. Not only was she making or talking trash about me, but she was talking rudely about my son, and he doesn't deserve that. So, well, I hope y'all have a great day, and I'm going to have a great day because I'm not going to let her bother me.
My mother-in-law turns to me and goes, "I'm sorry, this seat is for her." They saved a seat for my husband's ex-girlfriend, but not for me. My husband dated someone for like 4 to 5 years, really close to the family. They still post pictures of her on her birthday on Facebook and say happy birthday. They never did that for me. So my sister-in-law, she was pregnant, she was having a baby shower, and she was very close to that ex-girlfriend. Like, they were best friends for all that time. She invited her. Told my husband, I said, this is a very uncomfortable situation for me. I don't want to not go and look petty, like, oh, if she's going, then I'm not going. And so he suggested, hey, why don't you just go? Then I'll call you and say, hey, like, I need you. And then we can go on a date and make a day of it. That is perfect. Let's do that. Obviously, it's the day of the baby shower. My sister-in-law goes to open her presents. So everybody takes a seat. So I think, oh, my mother and sister-in-laws are over there. I will sit by them because those are the people that I know. Take a seat. My mother-in-law turns to me and goes, "I'm sorry, this seat is for her." Okay. they saved a seat for my husband's ex-girlfriend, but not for me. So I had to stand and watch. So I call my husband. I'm fuming. I'm like, this is what just happened. I need you to come get me. This is completely ridiculous. He tells me, actually, we're not going to be able to do that today because I am on my way up to my friend's house in the city. So I'm like an hour away, and I also have the only house key. So you're kind of stuck there. You can't go home. And then later on, he's like, why are you so mad at me?
Mom, why you doing
Anyways, we came here to the restaurant to talk to
you.
you.
Said both of your ladies, both last time I checked was 2 people.
Both of y'all my first ladies. What's wrong with you, Miss Deborah?
I don't know. Today you tripping, Ma. You started this time. You started. Audrey's drinking already. Have you not seen that? I see the drink. I bought it no food. You know she don't eat meat. I'm the alcoholic though, right?
Yeah, but we took you to a restaurant to get wings.
That's what
I don't
you call
eat meat.
This? Girl, this is chicken.
So why
you get to go to Benihana's. That's her favorite spot. You know she loves.
Oh, you want to go to Benihana's too?
I mean, I didn't care for this.
So we should take her. I guess we should take her out when we go out.
I mean, I'm just saying. I think I deserve a little bit better treatment than this. Anyway, why did you bring me here? I don't understand. So y'all, I just want to let y'all get done because y'all do your thing. Y'all go back and forth. Y'all done?
I'm back and forth with her.
This is what I'm trying to get across today. As a unit, we got to get this shit together. We need to be together. Like, we got to make this work. I love her. I love you. You my mom. This my girl. We got to make this work. What's love? What's love? You always taught me that love was somebody you really cared dearly for. Somebody that you would give your last. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like love is. That's what I would do for this young lady right here. That's what you found in that? In Harvey? Yeah. Does she reciprocate it?
I sure do.
To the utmost. How? How? His birthday party was supplied at the Dollar Tree last year.
Boy, these mother-in-laws be crazy as hell. Let me give y'all a little story time. So, my husband is in jail. He's been in jail for a while. He's fighting his case. My mother-in-law has 3 sons in total. When I tell y'all that since my husband has been in jail, ain't nothing about his stride stopped. I'm talking about business-wise. He's still on top of things. Everything's still flowing. He done bought this woman a car. He done sent this woman money. He done paid for her groceries on numerous occasions. Just everything that you think a son should do, he's still been able to provide that, although he's fighting a very serious case and got his own motherfucking issues that he need to deal with. Still always looking out for his mama. So, anyhow, needless to say, since he's been incarcerated, this man has taken care of her. When I tell y'all, I have done everything right by this man, and she can see that. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure it out. She knows that. I was actually the one that was encouraging him to start doing a lot of these things for her. You know, being as I don't have my parents anymore, I used to stress to him how important it is to be able to provide for them while you still have the ability to. Well, needless to say, that since he has been incarcerated, what I've noticed is he's still the one always offering his help. He's still the one paying for this and paying for that and seeing how he can fix this and seeing how he can fix that. Out of your 3 motherfucking kids, this is the motherfucking son that is always there for you. But why the fuck don't I see that shit in return? And although the shit bothered me, I just chalked it up because at the end of the day, he don't need for nothing, I don't need for nothing, so we really don't need anybody to do a motherfucking thing. Now, the problem came in at the fact that this woman understood that I am very big on my visits and my time with him. Trying to maintain a relationship with somebody in jail is not an easy task. On top of that, we are in the process of running mutual businesses that we have together. So we're on a certain time frame. Like we just, you know, the way we have everything structured, it is what it is. Well, this woman decided that she was going to start booking visits with him randomly. She would never tell us when. It was, you know, to me, whenever the fuck she had time because it wasn't consistent. So I kindly asked her, hey, you know, being that you know how important the time is for me and the visits and then running the businesses and stuff, do you think that you can let one of us know before you book a visit or when you're going to book a visit? So that way we already have it down in our head, hey, on Thursday we're not going to have visits because she's booking a visit. And I asked with all due respect, but of course she had a fucking problem with that. She felt like she didn't have to tell me a motherfucking thing. Okay, cool. I'll ask your son to talk to you since you just don't want to take it from me. And he did that. Well, that's when the problems fucking started. Because she not only decided that she wasn't going to tell us a motherfucking thing, she was just going to continue on with the way that she's been doing, which is pull up any chance she fucking felt like it, whether it be once a month or once every 2 months. Well, now you're going to see that he's going to start canceling those visits that we weren't expecting. Now let's fast forward to the bullshit. When I tell you, since this man has been incarcerated, this woman has not showed up to one fucking court date. Not one. Hasn't asked how the lawyers are being paid for. Does he need anything? How it's looking? How about just some motherfucking moral support? Ain't been none of that. Well, let me tell you, he had an important court date coming up, and he really wanted her to be present. According to him, he reminded her twice about this. When I tell you that woman did not show up, but you know what seemed really funny to me is every time you guys have a motherfucking problem, you know to book a visit and you won't ask for any type of help directly. You do little shit like tell him about your problems or what's going on. Oh, I'm going to be out of work for 2 weeks because of this or that or whatever the case may be, knowing that he'll offer it. So to me, like I said, I be seeing through the bullshit. I still don't say anything. When she doesn't show up to that court date, I see that he was bothered by it. It hurt his feelings. He was affected by it. And I asked him, are you sure that she knew when the court date was? Although, if it was important, nobody should have to tell you when the fuck a court date is, especially when number one, it's public record, and number two, you have no problem texting about anything else. So if you were curious as to when this court date was, although he told me he told you, you could have easily tapped in to figure that information out. Now, after she missed this court date, a few weeks goes by and she texts me and she says, hey, I want to book a visit for this weekend. Can you let him know? So I bring it to his attention. I don't tell him my opinion. I just tell him, hey, your mom tapped in. She wants to book a visit for this weekend. What time do you want me to tell her or what day? He's like, no, let her know. I don't want no visits from anybody else right now. You know, he wasn't rude about it. But like I said, I could tell everybody knows their spouse. I could tell it was affecting him and I could tell it really hurt his feelings. And that's why he didn't want to see anybody. So I waited about a day or so and I text her a very long text. And in this text, I let it all out. I told her, I said, you know, this time you really disappointed him. And you know, it's sad because out of all three of your kids, he's the only one that does shit for you, even under his circumstances. He's never asked you for $1. He understands that he has to fight this fight on his own. He doesn't expect anything. But the one thing that you could have provided for him that was absolutely free, you couldn't even do. He has never missed a Mother's Day, a birthday. He sends roses and different things to let you know that you're special. But you mean to tell me you couldn't be there to support him on a day that he needed you the most? So I'm sorry to say, but he told me to tell you that he doesn't want any visits from you right now. Well, let me tell you about this woman. She didn't bother to text me back, but you know who was front row and center at that next court date? She was. And I thought that was a good thing. Oh, she finally gets it. Well, tell me why this woman decided to wait till after his court date to come up and ask his lawyers. He has 2 lawyers. She comes up and asks one of them, can she speak to them? I don't pay no mind to it. I spin off and go on about my day. I got shit I gotta do. Later on, he calls me and tells me that his lawyers came to see him and told him that after court, his mother pulled them to the side to tell them, I didn't tell her when the court date was, and she was unaware, and I'm causing a wedge between her and her son. Excuse me, lady? So you gonna put your dropping the ball ass shit on me? Okay, I see how we playing. So you mean to tell me that out of all the motherfucking court dates that this man done had, it's my fault that you ain't been present at one of these motherfuckers? You call yourself trying to save face to these lawyers because they probably looking at you like, damn, we didn't even know he had a motherfucking mama. Now, you decide you want to drop that shit on me and have me looking all crazy. You ain't put $1 towards these motherfucking expensive ass lawyers. But you got your motherfucking nerve to be talking to them about our personal business and make it seem like I'm the motherfucking problem. Are you fucking crazy? You decided that this was going to be the way you introduce yourself to these lawyers that have never met you a day in their fucking life by putting it off on me, and you don't think you sound fucking crazy by trying to say you ain't been to no court dates because you didn't know when they were? Okay. Bitch, you got me fucked up. Period, point blank. I sent that woman a long ass text and I respectfully told her she needs to own her shit. Don't put that shit off on me, because let me tell you what I would do. If it was one of my motherfucking children, ain't nobody gotta tell me when a court date is for one of my motherfucking children. I'm probably gonna be the one sending out the text to let everybody else know when the fucking court date is. Don't put that motherfucking shit off on me. See, a lot of you mother-in-laws, y'all got a problem with accepting the fact of when you're wrong or when you drop the ball. You don't want another woman to look like she's doing a better job at it than you. Kiss my motherfucking ass.
Go, you guys. Déjame le digo, before I get off, let me tell you what's going on, because I told my husband a long time ago that this day was going to come, and it came, okay? It came. Déjame le digo, because we got in an argument yesterday and he's still upset with me. You guys already know I don't have a relationship with my mother-in-law. She hasn't seen those kids in 3 years. She hasn't seen her grandkids in 3 years. She doesn't call, nothing, nada. Last month was my daughter's birthday. She didn't call to wish my daughter that turned 17 a happy birthday, nothing. So recently my mother-in-law was mauled by her pit bull horribly. She was at the hospital. She's back at home. My husband went to go see her at the hospital. Gracias a Dios, she's doing much better. So my husband wants to take the kids to go see grandma. The kids don't want to go see grandma. My daughter's 17, my son is 15, soon to be 16. They haven't seen her in 3 years. They have no relationship with her, okay? None. So he's upset with me, and I told him this day was gonna come. I can't make the kids do something that they don't wanna do, especially now that they're older. You know what I mean? So like, he has to understand that his mom has never been really involved with his kids, our kids, nunca. So now that they're older, they don't want nothing to do with grandma. They love my mom. Like I tell them, I'm going to my mom's house, they get in the car. Pero they don't have a relationship with his mom. You know what I mean? It says, you go all the time with he said, but I want the kids to go. The kids don't want to go. So coño, he's upset with me. And I'm like, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I don't even know what to do. But am I wrong? Do I make those kids go? No, right? They don't want to go. And I don't think he understands that. I don't think, that's his mom. Go. Anyways, I'm so upset. He's upset with me. Pero yo no sé lo que hacer. I don't think I'm wrong.
You guys are not going to believe this. You would not believe what just happened to me. So I'm out walking my dog with my 2 youngest children. And yesterday, my mother-in-law tried to pop up over my house without calling, even though we have asked her multiple times to respect that boundary. So since she won't respect it, we kind of enforced it and ignored the door. So she was kicking and screaming at the door, and we're homeschooling 4 kids, and both of us work from home. So I didn't answer, right? Neighbors called the police on her, and they escorted her out of our community. Yeah. Later on yesterday, she texts my husband such a nasty message, and I mean nasty. And I'm wondering, like, why didn't she just text me? Because she knew I was home. Like everybody, you know I was home. Why you didn't text me? But he didn't read it. You know who read it? Me. So Karen is like really peed off that he doesn't respect her, and whenever she pops over, she should always be welcome in our home. And I brainwashed him because she's been gone all his life to know how to treat a mother. Mind you, he's a grown man with 4 children. Nobody need to brainwash him. So instead of replying back to the message that I'm reading on his phone, I called her from my phone. Yeah. She answered, I don't feel like arguing with you. I said, listen, Karen, I need you to understand that we have asked you to respect this boundary. She cuts me off. I don't have to respect anything that you say. I'm his mother, and he needs to understand that when I want to come see my grandkids, I need to come see my grandkids. Mama? Granted, they're at school, so I don't know what you expect to do. So I said, Karen, listen, it is super easy for us to respect one another. I've asked you, my husband has asked you, to make sure that you at least text or call to see if it's okay to come over. It is not a big problem. You know, we do that to anybody that when we come visit. You know, that's not something that's not normal. Well, it's unusual for me because all of my kids, and I said, Karen, all of your kids are scared to tell you no. But I'm not scared to tell you no, and neither is my husband. So it's either respect our boundaries or you won't be a part of our lives. And she hung up on me. So then about 5 minutes later, my husband got a text message from Karen, and she said, good riddance. I don't need you a part of my life. Now, I'm just like, leave it alone. You know, my husband, he's not going to respond to any drama. So I say about 2 hours later, my sister-in-law calls me. She tells me that they had to go to court and Karen act a fool, and now her husband is trying to back her, which I'm really proud to hear, in setting proper boundaries. They have an active restraining order on her, hence that's why she's now trying to come over here. I need y'all thoughts, because to me, it seems like she just needs to find her life. You know, she needs somebody to make her smile. Now, if you are a mother-in-law or a father-in-law, let me know your thoughts, because Karen is single. She doesn't have a husband, and she seems to be imparting on a lot of her children's marital lives. I just want to know y'all feedback, because this is not normal behavior. And this is I never had to deal with a mother-in-law, so I don't know what I'm really dealing with, but I want to know y'all thoughts.
Another reason why, like, just little things happened that why I really didn't like your mom back then. I was giving birth to Penelope, and I let his mom be in the room to watch me give birth, which that was also a huge issue. I was like, I don't want your mom in the room. Like, I only want you and
she didn't get along with my mom at that time.
I was like, I only want you and my mom in the room. Like, you're my husband and my mom, like, for emotional support. And he's like, I want my mom in the room. I'm like, no, it's not about you. It's my mom. Like, I want her in the room. I was like, no, like, it's not about you. And like, he didn't really understand, like, when you give birth, it's about the wife. Like, it's about the mom. She's the one giving birth. She's the one going through things physically, mentally. Like,
whatever she's comfortable with is the most important
what
thing.
You have to support, and that wasn't the case. At the moment, like, my water breaks, I go to the hospital, and my first time giving birth, I'm 19 years old. I'm having contractions. I remember having contractions and I was like, I'm going to do a birth without epidural. So I tried to push it through as long as I could. And at the time I was just so focused on like my contractions that literally we had my mom, you, your mom, your brother, and your aunt, who I never fucking spoke to in my whole fucking life, in the room, watched my birth.
Because it's Cuban people. They just want to be like involved. They think everything's like just fine. Nothing's taboo. Everything's fine. I can see your vagina.
She would have had my back then. Like, all right, Bramty, like you're about to give birth. Everybody out. Only what my wife wants. But you didn't have that mentality, and you just had your mom's back 18. Most of the time. So I remember I just wasn't even involved with like who was in the room. I remember pushing, and I remember your mom and your aunt taking pictures of my vagina while I am pushing, then to later find out that your aunt had sent those pictures to family members.
Ladies, if you have a challenging relationship with your mother-in-law, this message is for you. First thing I'll say is you don't have a mother-in-law problem, you have a marriage problem. And here's what I mean. It is the husband's responsibility to step up and lead and establish the boundaries surrounding his family, not his family of origin. For when a husband decides to get married, the dynamic in the relationship that he has with his family of origin must change. I'm going to reference an ancient scripture here. It's called leave and cleave. What does it mean? It means that when a husband takes his wife, he leaves his family of origin and cleaves to his wife. And the relationship that he has with his mother and father and family of origin forever changes. That relationship shifts and alters. It doesn't mean it goes away, but it must change. For when a man chooses his wife, he now prioritizes her over anyone else outside of himself. This can be incredibly jarring, most especially to his mother, and perhaps with his father and his siblings. It is a husband's responsibility to establish his new family while maintaining a new relationship with his family of origin. In order for a man to be able to do all of this, he must know who he is. He must be doing his inner work and growth and transformation, essentially building the most strong boundaries around him and his wife and his family. That is the challenge. The wives out there, if you're having struggles with a mother-in-law butting into your family, dismissing boundaries that you want to establish around your family, around your husband, it's time to have a conversation with your husband.
For those of you who don't get along with your mother-in-law, what do you guys be beefing about? Because me and my mother-in-law were just having this conversation yesterday about how people will ask me like how our relationship is because she lives with us. And I always say I love that shit. And people are like, oh my God, like, that's so crazy. Typically people don't get along with their mother-in-law. And I just want to know what the fuck y'all be fighting about, because we literally talked about it. And the only thing that would make us fucking beef is if she like laid her hands on my kids. Other than that, we don't argue about nothing. We don't disagree on nothing. We don't make the holidays like a big fucking deal. So like, what do you guys be fighting about?
My future mother-in-law is sabotaging my wedding.
Hey!
My dilemma is my future mother-in-law is really making me question whether I want to get married to my fiance/her son.
Jesus! Question!
My fiance and I have been together for the past 2 years and everything was really blissful until he proposed 6 months ago.
Until he proposed? No, that's crazy! No! Everything was going well until he decided he wants to marry me. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness.
Before our engagement, I had never met his parents. My family absolutely love him and are very excited about our wedding. His mother, however, big wahala. Just to give you a background on the situation, he is Nigerian Yoruba and I am from Sierra Leone.
I'm screaming. That's already messed up.
So, like I said, we initially wanted to incorporate both cultures on our trad day, but his mother has refused. She has said the Yoruba culture is richer and better.
She ain't lying.
No. You lot are trying, man.
You said you would like to wear the bad.
No, because when I look back, bro, I can't lie, it looks wavy.
Yeah. Because I'm so trying better and richer.
Okay, so yeah, she has said that the Yoruba culture is richer and better and no one would understand the Sierra Leone stuff, even though we've been very happy to teach her about it. That was my first issue. Secondly, she demanded that she pick the colours of our Ashobi.
Oh God, this is a mother-in-law from L. From the L.
Of course, this was a major side-eye, but once again, I let it slide. This weekend, I nearly lost it. I had found the perfect wedding dress, and I thought...
my God.
She shouldn't even be in the room.
She's not going to comment on her wedding dress.
Well, yeah. Yeah, this weekend I nearly lost it. I found the perfect wedding dress and I thought it would be nice to have a girly day out with my maid of honor, mother-in-law, and my mum and my grandma.
It's a mistake.
I tried on the dress and they all loved it except for my mother-in-law. No surprise there. She said my breasts are too big.
Ma'am. Now, why you gotta do all that?
She wants to show breasts. Why can't she show breasts though?
No, but literally.
No,
she didn't say that she showed breasts. She said that her breasts are too big.
Yeah. And it will make me look like an ashewo in front of everyone.
Translate that.
It'll make her look like a prostitute.
Yeah.
Hey.
Everyone was shocked and my mum had to step in and diffuse this situation. I love a supportive parent.
No, honestly.
She never even apologized. I broke down to my fiance on the phone and he brushed it off and said...
He did what?
Wait.
Honestly, people like this piss me off. People like this piss me off.
Damn.
No, because the man think we hit us. No, a nerve, man.
So I was actually debating on posting this because I don't like anyone to know like my personal business on social media. But I just want to make this video to just kind of, if you're going through the same situation, just know there's always a way out. So let's get to it. So in September of 2023, I had decided that it was time for my now husband, for us to finally move in together, right? He was like, we just need to stop doing this long distance relationship. He was driving 6 hours and I was driving 6 hours to go like see each other. So I made the decision. I was like, okay, you know what? That's fine. Like, so I pack up, leave my apartment. I leave my stable job. I leave my family back in Tennessee. And I was like, okay, like, let's see what this new life is about, right? So him and I, we ended up moving into my mother-in-law's house. And at the beginning, it was all roses and pink. You know, I would come visit. She would treat me like a princess. She would buy me things, you know, just treat me so good. But there's a saying in Spanish, hay un dicho que dice, el muerto después de 3 días apesta. And I would also always hear like these horror stories of like mother-in-laws, sister-in-laws. And I never thought it would happen to me until like it fucking happened to me. So fast forward, you know, at the time when I move in, I obviously don't have a job. You know, he took me to a little town where everyone knew everyone. And there was literally only a Walmart. And there was little to no opportunities there. And they were like, oh, well, like if you can't find a job, like work as a teller at the bank. And I'm like, nothing's wrong with being a teller, but like I didn't go to school for that. Like I work in HR. I'm an HR manager now, thank the Lord, but I was not going to do that. So meanwhile, you know, while I'm jobless, I'm like cleaning the house, cooking for him, washing my man's clothes. Like I'm even cooking for her man at the time. Like, girl, you was at work, do your thing. I'll take care of the house, right? Well, after several months, that shit was just not good enough for her. Like, she would literally make backhanded comments saying like, oh, is that how you clean? Así no se hace eso. That's not how you do it. There was a comment made to my sister-in-law from her saying like, oh, ¿a poco así se limpia el culo? Like, oh, is that how she wipes her ass? When I heard that, I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, is this lady really talking shit about me? Like, I might not know how to do it the way that she wants me to do it, but I would get that shit done. Anyways, fast forward, I would let that shit go, whatever. There was days where she'd be nice in my face, but that lady literally made me so fucking depressed living there. Like, she would come home and scream every day at her daughters. Like, her daughters would have to go outside, like little slaves, bro. Anyways, majority of the time, I just wanted to be in my room after my man got home. Like, we would cook, sometimes she would, but like most of the time I would always try to cook for him because he was working for the both of us. So like when he got home, I just wanted to spend time with him. Anyway, she found a problem of that. She's like, you guys are always in your room, blah, blah. And I'm like, well, yeah, ain't nobody want to be around y'all. Fast forward to like April of last year. So his sisters, one of his sisters, his older sister, she had just had a baby. So, and I didn't think of this till after the fact. I was like, oh, she was going through postpartum, but like, bitch, you're not gonna talk to me the way that you talk to me. So one day my husband had just got out of work and she came barging into our room talking like heavy on him, like, hey, like you need to come out and do this, help mom, like very demanding. So I was sitting on the corner of the bed and I was like, girl, you are not, like, stop talking to him like that. So she gets defensive and she's like, who are you to tell me what to say or what to do? So then I have a big ass mouth and I'm like, excuse me? I was like, I'm his fucking girlfriend. Like, who the fuck are you talking to him like that?
So anyway, she comes closer to me and I get up because I was like, bitch, you're not gonna be talking to me down like while I'm sitting down. So at the time she had her baby in like in this little like wrapped up thing. I don't even know what it's called. But my man gets in between us. So then his older sister like starts coming in here throwing hands at my man. Like, bitch, you don't even know what's going on. Why are you even throwing hands? Anyways, that whole night it was a shit show. His parents walk in and they're like, oh, like, yeah, cálmense, we'll talk about this later, blah, blah. So later, come to find out, these girls go shopping. Like, it even gets worse. Like, there's this girl named Allison Rodriguez that tried home wrecking my relationship when we first started dating because he used to mess around with her and didn't claim him, right? So come to find out, after that whole ordeal that night with my sister-in-laws and my like in-laws, they go prom shopping with the girl that he used to mess with. So when I found that out, I was like, oh yeah, bitch, I do not want nothing to do with you. So his middle sister then, fast forward in May, she literally texts me and she's like, hey, we should leave everything in the past. Like, I want you to come to my graduation. And I was still nice and I was like, oh yeah, thanks, whatever. Like, in my head, I'm like, bitch, I am not going to your graduation after you just did that sneaky shit behind my back. So anyways, while I'm still living with them, I have a friend who, if Jenny, if you see this, I love you. Thank you and Rashad for changing my life. So I was like, I reached out to her and I was like, hey, I really want to get out of here. Kevin and I need to like find somewhere to live. Like, if it's a house, if it's an apartment. At this point, bitch, I didn't even care. I was like, take me somewhere. So then she's like, yeah, like, I'll get you guys going in the process, whatever. So then we start the home buying process. So then I have a conversation with my husband and I'm like, you do not tell them that we're buying a house because they are evil and they will literally give you mal de ojo. They're going to start talking shit on me, talking shit on you about how we shouldn't and can't buy a house. Sure enough, they did. Like, they would ask me like, oh, what's your budget? Like, if you ever got a house? And I was like, oh, maybe $250,000. And they were like, oh, Anna wants a house of $250,000. Like, that's too much. Anyways, they didn't know. But there's also, so we all sit down and we're having dinner, right? Just me, my husband, and his mom one night. And she literally was like, oh, ustedes nunca van a poder comprar una casa. Ustedes no tienen el dinero salvado. Like, you guys don't have this money. You guys don't have this. But I was like, Lord, like, please help me not say anything to this fucking lady right now before I slap her. So then fast forward, we end up getting accepted to, you know, go sign for a house and everything. So I'm like, oh my God, like, I finally get to leave this place. So anyways, we sign, I come home or come to her house and I literally pick up and pack my shit and I throw the shit in the truck and I'm like, let's go. Like, I didn't even say bye to this lady because, like, thank you for everything that you've done and letting me stay here. But like, bitch, you were so disrespectful. Like, you don't even deserve a bye from me. Wait, so backtrack. Like, when we told this lady that we were moving out, she literally had no emotion. She was just like, no, pues está bien. And I was like, oh my God. Anyways, we move into our own home and my husband is still working down there. So he's having to drive like an hour and a half to his job until he finds a new job. So he said that his mom like literally was like, hey, can you help me do something on my phone? So then he was like, yeah, sure. He said that when he popped up her phone on Safari, this bitch had our address pulled up to see everything about our house. Like, how the fuck did you get our address, weirdo? Anyways, so now we're married, now we own a home, and he decided to cut off his family because of the sneaky shit that they've done behind our back, which is one, still talking to the girl that like he used to mess with, and two, like all the shit that they've talked about. Anyways, if you're looking to keep a good relationship with your in-laws, do not move in with them because everything changes when you live with someone or a group of people. And second of all, like, I have come to a conclusion that if I want peace, I need to learn to forgive people. So God has already put that in my heart. Like, I forgive them and things happen for a reason. But always remember that the way that people treat you is just a projection of who they really are.
You want to know when I'm going to move? Whenever.
What does that mean? What does that look like?
Here we go. One
Can I have a
answer after another.
timeline? Can I have...
You just want to nag. Stop already.
I'm not nagging. I have a question. I want to know.
And I already told you, and I'm not going to keep answering the same thing over and over again.
Whenever...
Okay, Nana, enough.
You see, that's so disrespectful.
It's
but
not.
if I did that to you, you would have a problem. That's so rude.
It's the most frustrating thing to see all the fights that go on day in and day out. And it's like, I feel like I'm just kind of caught in the middle of it. And I'm just trying to make both sides happy. We're going to have to figure something out. Because this can't continue. I fight this fight with Delisa so much because if my mother-in-law wasn't a big part of my life, I'd be crushed.
At least from this clip right here, I don't feel like the husband is doing enough to support his wife. What he should be saying, instead of, I don't know how I would feel if my mother-in-law wasn't in my life, he should be telling his wife, whatever you decide, you have my support. I have your back, whatever you want to do, whatever decision that you make regarding your mother, You can count on me to help you with that. For her to throw that towel in her daughter's face like that on camera, I can only imagine how she talks to her, how she treats her off camera. Not every mother loves their daughter and wants the best for their daughter. Some mothers are jealous of their daughters. When they get married, that she might have never been married. And here comes a daughter in a loving relationship, and she don't like that. She needs her own house. She needs her own house, her own man, and her own business. She's acting like y'all living with her. The daughter's going to have to stand up for herself, and it might be for the very first time. But that's why your husband should be there to support you. But you don't have to put up with this disrespect from your mother or anybody else. I know they both want their mother-in-law in their lives, but at what cost? They shouldn't have to set their marriage on fire to keep this woman warm.
I want to know why the mother-in-laws from the guy's side, I want to know why y'all be acting like that. In reality, it's really always the man's side of the family that be mad fucking weird. It's either they have a jealous ass mother or sister, cousin, like it's always some bullshit. It's always some bullshit on the man's side. Why is that? Why the mother-in-laws be acting like they want to date their sons? It's very strange. So you trying to tell me that none of the girls that your son has brought home is good enough for your raggedy ass son? Stop. Actually, miss, you should thank me for even giving your son the time of day, because I'm way out of his league. Okay? That's just me being honest. Okay? You should thank me for even giving your son my number. Y'all be acting like y'all want to date y'all sons. These mother-in-laws be acting like if they want to be with their child. That shit is fucking weird and sick.
So my sister had a baby last week, and she and her husband were so clear. They were like, no family in the delivery room except for us. And at the time, her mother-in-law like replied to that email and was like, even other mommies? And my sister basically told her, like, in the politest way possible, fuck all the way off, right? So my sister goes into labor, and the hospital where she's planning to give birth just happens to be the same one that her mother-in-law works at as a head nurse in like a totally different unit. On the day my sister goes into labor, her mother-in-law uses her badge and credentials to get into the labor and delivery unit, get into my sister's room, and start ordering around her care team, being like, oh, she's only 3.5 centimeters dilated, like, come back in an hour. And she was there for the birth. You guys, I waited like 2 days because I didn't want to like tarnish my sister's memory of the birth, but I sat her down and I was like, you need to go no contact with this woman. Like, she violated a clear boundary. And while you're at it, like, why did your husband not advocate for you? To me, that's instant divorce. Obviously, that wasn't exactly what she wanted to hear. Now, I'm not allowed to see my nephew, and her mother-in-law still is. Make it make sense. I have a mind, honestly, to go on the hospital's website and report this woman, get her license revoked, get her arrested, because what she did is so unacceptable. But I don't know if I'd be way out of line to do that.
I don't know about y'all, but a deal breaker for me in a relationship is if his mom don't like me. And I could smell the comments from a mile away. Oh, but what if you really love him? What if that's your soulmate? It's still a deal breaker, because what if I have kids with that man, and then when it comes time for my kids to go to his mom's house, she's talking bad about me to my own kids? Let me find out somebody's talking bad about me to my own kids. I'm gonna go crazy. I don't care what y'all say. I want a good, healthy relationship with my mother-in-law. I want to be so cool with my mother-in-law that whenever me and my man get into an argument, I could go right to his mom's house and be like, girl, respectfully, your son is annoying. Was he always like this growing up? And she like, yeah, girl. He get that from his daddy. Don't pay him no mind. He'll come crawling back. You want to come with me to the nail salon? And best believe, when I'm a mother-in-law in the future, if I catch my son cheating, I will be the first to tell his girlfriend. I don't play. Girls gotta protect girls.
The more that females realize that it's okay if your significant other's mom, sister, aunt, grandmother doesn't accept you, the smoother everything in your life will go. I promise you. Now, I'm not saying just be problematic. I'm not saying be disrespectful to them or anything like that. But you're not in a relationship with them. So you shouldn't be trying to go out of your way to please them. And once they don't accept it, or once, you get like that bad vibe of, maybe they don't like me, and now like you're overthinking it and you're causing a problem within your relationship, that's a problem, and that's going to be a lot of stress on you. Think about it from this perspective. How many of your brother's girlfriends do you even like remember? How many of them do you even like think about? If you have a nephew, do you ever think about his girlfriend? Do you ever remember them if he's had a lot or anything like that? No, it really doesn't matter to you. So like, look at it like that. If you're the girlfriend, like, that shouldn't matter. Most of the time we want a connection with our significant other's family, which is perfectly fine, but don't force it. Don't stress yourself out over it. Like, it'll come naturally. I say all that to say that shouldn't be a main priority in your head. Let me make sure I please my mother-in-law. Let me make sure I please my sister-in-law. Just go with the flow and it will come naturally.
We hear a lot about the children of narcissistic or toxic parents and how that dynamic is, but what about the partners of those adult children? Like, what about the son-in-law or daughter-in-law that's subjected to the narcissistic abuse, or dealing with emotionally immature in-laws, the enmeshment, or just the overall unhealthy, dysfunctional dynamic of their partner's family of origin? It can be really traumatizing because you experience a lot of gaslighting and manipulation, and some of this may come from your own partner because they're expecting you to just deal with the treatment they've dealt with their entire life in the name of keeping the peace. You may have been casted as the villain from the time they met you because you are viewed as an outsider of their system, which for your mother-in-law or father-in-law or other members of that family makes you a threat to their system. New adult partners who clearly aren't going anywhere means change will be happening, and most dysfunctional families or people who thrive off control do not like change. It can cause you to second guess yourself and feel you aren't good enough. It can have a negative impact on your mental health because you now have to mentally prepare to be around said people, and whenever you are, your body is in fight or flight mode, you experience anxiety, or you just can't wait until you're no longer in the same space. A grief process can also be attached to this dynamic because not only do you not have an ideal, healthy relationship with your in-laws, but your children probably won't have one either. And this is especially true if you and your partner decide to go low or no contact. You may feel robbed of the fantasy you had of your in-laws loving you and you loving them and all the great experiences you could have had. You may feel sadness for your child knowing they have grandparents they won't really know due to the toxicity of said grandparents. You may feel proud of your spouse because for the first time in their life, they're not going for bullshit. They're not going for the mistreatment of their partner or their child. But you also feel sadness for your partner because their parent or family of origin isn't who they need them to be. You may feel frustration, happiness, rage, guilt, sadness, and confusion. You know your feelings are valid, but sometimes you feel they aren't. You live in a society that normalizes this unhealthy experience. You see it depicted on TV, the mother-in-law who hates the daughter-in-law because she's taking the oldest son or only son away from her. It's a mindfuck. It's traumatizing, and the depths of this experience is not talked about enough.
As someone who is in the process of getting a divorce, if there was any advice that I could give to someone who is getting married, this is what it would be. One of the main things, like number one on the list, you always need to remember that your in-laws are not your family. Your in-laws are not your family. Everything is going to be sweet in the beginning. Y'all can be tight, whatever the case is. But the moment shit hits the fan in your marriage, they are not going to cover you. They are not going to have your back. Their main priority is going to be the person that you've married. Like whether it's their, brother, son, whatever. Like, and if you're the wife, right? If you take it as like, oh no, this is my family, where like, you're gonna be so disappointed, I'm telling you. And y'all can just be saying like, oh, I'm just saying this because I'm getting a divorce, maybe I'm bitter. I promise you, it's not even coming from that mindset. It's just coming from experience. The moment shit hits the fan in that marriage, you're gonna really see who's there for you and who's not. Niggas will deadass leave you dry. It's not even a joke. Niggas will deadass leave you with nothing. Nothing. So it's always best to just put that at the forefront of your brain. Like, hey, I love these people. I care for these people, but they are still not your family. It's good for you to, even if you decided to move in with somebody that's across the country, and maybe you're with their family and your family is on the other side of the country, still make sure that you maintain a decent relationship with your family, because you never know when you're going to need them. If shit hits the fan, you're going to need your family. The two becoming one is a beautiful thing, but always make sure that you are good and that you're fine, because at the end of the day, you got you. That is my advice for anybody who is going to get married.
On my husband and I's first wedding anniversary, my mother-in-law posted a picture on Instagram. It was a photo of her and one of our wedding guests at our venue, captioned 1 year ago today. And mind you, neither my husband or I were in the photo. It was just her and one of our guests at the venue. And then my sister-in-law commented on it, and my mother-in-law commented back saying the only thing missing from the picture was my sister-in-law, who didn't come to our wedding. Not the bride or groom who weren't in the photo or anything like that. And then a few hours later, she had the audacity to message my husband, not to say happy anniversary or even acknowledge it, but to send pictures of him and her from his childhood with a whole bunch of heart emojis. And then when my husband called her on trying to make our first anniversary all about her, she said that she didn't know it was our wedding anniversary, and she sent those photos because she couldn't handle the fact that she'd lost her son.
How about instead of your mother-in-law, your actual mother? Guys, there's a lot of stories that go with this. If it blows up, I will give you more story times than you could possibly want. So, coming off of a pregnancy loss, my wife and I find out that we're expecting again. And so, the way I tell my mom is there was a rocking horse that I had when I was a kid, and when I had a child, I'm supposed to get that back. So, I call her up and I said, hey mom, you know, that rocking horse, I said, we're gonna need it by September. And she says, well, I've been kind of busy. She was like, you know, I need to do some stuff to it to make it better, but, you know, I'll look at it closer to September. And I said, no, Mom, I don't think you heard me. We're going to need it by September. And she stops, pauses, then her voice changes. She goes, Justin, I heard you. I don't know what you expect me to say. And that was basically it. She knew that we were telling her that we were pregnant, and that was her response. And after that, she hasn't spoken to me since February of 2019.
My mother-in-law has never liked me, and before I learned to set boundaries with her, here is one of the things that she said after I flew her out from Wisconsin to come and visit her son and I in the state of Washington. We planned a fun friend-family barbecue, invited over some of our closest friends, and she had the libations flowing and thought that it was appropriate to, for some reason, tell one of our closest friends that she hoped that if I ever got pregnant with my husband's child, her grandchild, that I would have a miscarriage. I don't know what kind of person thinks that saying that to anybody is appropriate, let alone something that would be their own flesh and blood, and also to someone that they really don't know and who is very close with us. Unfortunately, her saying that was not the straw that broke the camel's back, where I resulted in setting boundaries with her and drawing a hard line in the sand, and it probably should have been. Had I set boundaries with her at that point, it would have saved me years and years of heartache with her.
I wasn't looking forward to being a grandparent. We have very complicated, difficult relationships with two of our daughters-in-laws.
Now that is quite the opening statement. So that's Anne. She has quite the following on here. Upon further search, she's a super accomplished woman. She's an author. She's an influencer. I mean, she's definitely made a name for herself across social media platforms, but this video really caught my attention. Trying to sum up her video really quickly, Anne basically starts out by saying that she had mixed feelings about having grandkids because she has strained relationships with not one of her daughter-in-laws, but both of her daughter-in-laws. Now, if Anne had problems with one of her daughter-in-laws and was cool with the other, okay, that's up for debate, but Anne, both? She goes on to say that she adores her grandson, which I have no doubt that she does. Grandparents are the best. Then says that her son and his wife have a rule where they only like the grandkids getting gifts on Hanukkah, Christmas, and their birthday, which I think is reasonable if that's what you want to do as a parent. It's the parent's decision. She says she doesn't love that, but she respects it. But the thing is, Anne doesn't respect it. Because then Anne goes on to say that a couple years ago, she went to see a dermatologist and she had a spot or something, and the dermatologist thought that it might be melanoma. And I imagine that was very scary. But then Anne flat out says that her first thought when the doctor told her that this was potentially melanoma was that this was the perfect opportunity to give her grandson a toy because that would make her feel better about this potential diagnosis. She quite literally says, how can I use this to get a toy to my grandson? So she walks out of the office and immediately texts her son that she probably has melanoma, which she doesn't know yet. And she said nobody can help her, which... Anyways, and she said that it would really mean a lot to her if she could send a toy to her son. And honestly, her story kind of ends there, whatever. But let's unpack this. So right out of the gate, she says, I have a strained relationship with both of my daughter-in-laws. It is one thing if one person has a problem with you, but once it is two people, especially two people like that close to you, it's time to do some self-reflection. It could be you. You're the common denominator. Second, the parents of your grandchildren, your son and his wife, have set some very clear boundaries on when they see it appropriate to give gifts and when it's not appropriate to give gifts. And that is up to them, whether you agree with that or not, and you need to respect that as the grandparent. Now, third, I find it very strange that your first thought after getting this news that you could potentially have cancer, your first thought is getting a gift to your grandson, although you know there are rules in place that they don't want things to go down like that. Because if I got news that I was maybe having a potential cancer scare, I wouldn't be concerned about giving a gift to anybody. Just being perfectly honest, I would be thinking about myself and the next steps I need to take to confirm whether I do or don't get some answers to get myself better. And I personally am someone, I've had health scares in the past. I personally don't love sharing information with family until I have all the information myself, because whether you agree with this or not, and I'm not saying what I do is correct, but I don't like freaking people out unless there's something to freak out about. But let's be so abundantly for real. This was not about Anne being so scared about this potential diagnosis. This is not about Anne just desperately wanting to get a garbage truck to her grandson. This is Anne taking something potentially really scary and upsetting and being manipulative to use this to test a boundary that she does not like. She used this potential diagnosis as leverage to try to get what she wants, or try to push a boundary that's been set that she simply does not like. And by the way, 2 days later, she found out she did not have cancer, thank God. I find it very interesting that she only texted her son about the potential diagnosis and not her son and his wife. If I had to put my money on it, she only texted her son because Anne knows, or Anne thinks, that that is her best shot at this manipulation tactic to go her way. Now, before I continue, I think it's also important to paint a bigger picture here. While I was looking at Anne, I'm like, I've seen this woman before. Where have I seen her? I did a little Googling, a little searching, and come to find that this is not the first time Anne has posted about this. It's most certainly not the first time Anne has posted about the strife between her and her daughter-in-law. Anne posted a video a while back about a yellow cashmere sweater that she bought her daughter-in-law from the Row. I'm not going to give you the whole download on that story. You can go and look at it yourself, but it definitely provides some color to this situation.
Mother-in-law secretly recorded me giving birth when I was 16 years old. You might have seen my videos come across as I speak about my toxic relationship with said mother-in-law's son. Now let me tell you a little bit of backstory and about the strain and why it may be my relationship with my mother-in-law. As a young and naive teenager, I got pregnant at 16 years old, and I welcomed multiple people to support me in my birthing room. I had asked for nobody to take pictures and nobody to take videos of me because that is a very vulnerable moment that I did not want on people's phones, and actually the hospital didn't even allow that to take place. Someone who was also in my birthing room had let me know that my mother-in-law was taking a video of me while I was giving birth. I'm fairly certain she showed me this on her phone. Eventually she came clean about it. I do recall seeing a little bit of it. She at first denied it, and she denied it to my husband and eventually came clean to him as well. But yeah, I think it's incredibly disrespectful. Let me tell you how these boundaries being crossed tied into my following 3 children's births. When I had my son, I wanted my daughter to meet her sibling first. I wanted my daughter to come into the room before anybody else got to meet. Well, guess who came in the room at the same time that my daughter got to? Yeah, you know it. Child number 3. I also did not want my mother-in-law involved in this moment, but we got to the hospital and I was going into labor naturally, which was the first time that I was experiencing this. And I asked my brother and his girlfriend to come pick up my children to babysit them and watch them. This is what we had planned. I did not want my mother-in-law involved in any way, yet she somehow became involved in this moment, and she came to sit with my kids in the car for a few moments before my brother got to the hospital, which my husband could have just sat with her, but she had to make herself involved yet again. And now with my 4th child, this is the absolute worst that our relationship had ever been. Completely strained. The day that I was going to get induced with my son, my husband left early in the morning without telling anybody, and he went to go visit his mom. And he gave his mom money that we did not have, and I left her a message about how fucking disrespectful it was that she would take money from her son, who got to have his 4th child, and his family of 6. She came to the hospital uninvited, showed up. I don't know why the fuck there was no safety measure to keep uninvited guests out, but she showed up at the door and she gives her son a card congratulating him on his bundle of joy and gave the money back, saying, "Spend it on yourself, I insist." These are just 4 very small stories that I have, and this is the family I'm trying to fucking get away from and keep my children away from.
And when I say y'all mother-in-law not fucking with my mother-in-law, I mean it. Miss Missy gets down and she don't play. Let's start with the fact that she gets all of her daughter-in-law's flowers every month. Every month, a bouquet is sent to our house, right? This was our bouquet this month. Mine's dying. Don't clog no tea. And then the other day, I posted myself making butter, right? And let me show y'all what I just woke up to. Like, why? Why are you going so hard, Miss Missy? And then she didn't even tell me that she was sending it. So y'all, I'm over here going through everybody who I know who, first of all, can afford it. Second of all, who would send it. And the list is very short. So she was at the top of it. But she wanted to text me back. Why you ain't tell me that you sent me this, Miss Missy? Hey, see, why you ain't tell us? Why you ain't tell us so we could have got you a thank you card or something? And then I text her and say, hey, did you send this to our house? And she said, of course. Like, I knew it was you, queen. I knew it was you.
This is just a PSA to tell you to make sure that you're marrying into the right family. And especially with kids. We just had twins 3 months ago, and my mother-in-law lives a couple hours away. And she texted me 3 weeks in advance if she can come over. She didn't just show up. She texted me if it was okay, even though she knows that she's welcome here anytime. The guest room is literally basically her bedroom. Anyways, not only did she text me if she can come over, she asked me if I needed anything before she came. And I said no. When she showed up, she had like 10 prepped meals from Costco in my fridge. She brought them. She brought muffins. She brought stuff for my son. She brought prepped meals. And then she asked me what I wanted for dinner because she's going to make it. And then we went over what we were going to eat for dinner. And she looks at me and she goes, okay, go take a nap. I was like, no, it's okay. And she's like, no, go take a nap. And then she tells me, tomorrow you're going to go get your nails done. So make sure that you're marrying into a family that will take the stress away from you instead of make you want to lose your mind.
Have you ever been so furious that you just start crying because you literally just want to beat someone's ass, but you can't? Bro. She has the audacity to disrespect my mother too, bro. She said, I don't need to make appointments when I come to see my son. She told me to my face, she got close to my face and said, it's taking everything for me not to hit you. I was like praying to God, Lord, please let this woman hit me, please, 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 please. But she didn't. She started calling me all these names in the book. I walk out, she was crying to my husband about God knows what, talking shit about me. My husband's like telling her, you just came here to start problems. That's all you came here to do is start problems. Part one, she arrived here, she didn't call us. My husband, she then goes to the backyard, she starts crying to my husband, brings a tiny little gift. It just so happens to be that it was socks for the baby. Cool, that's cute. He then tells her, Mom, why are you crying? Because she won't let me see the baby. He's like, she never said that. I'm the one he's like, well, you told me that I need to respect her. If not, I can't see the baby. And he's like, so why can't you just respect her so you can see the baby? I don't get it. Did you come here to disturb our peace? She then says, well, I just don't want to talk to her. He's like, so it's you. So don't come here if you're going to start problems. Don't come here if you're not going to call. It's as simple as that. This whole entire issue started because she did not want to just give us a heads up. She would just show up when we were literally in the middle of doing things or just simply whenever. So then I go outside and I witness her crying and I'm like, are you okay? She's like, you don't need to talk to me. I don't need to see your face. I'm like, what did I do to you? Why do you not like me? I want to get to the bottom of why you don't like me. She said, look, and she touches my husband. She said, we're blood. You're temporary. I'm like, what? What are you saying? I'm like, literally, what's your problem with me? I just want to know what your problem with me is. We used to be the best of friends. The second we moved out of your house, you switched up on me. Is it because your son left you? Is it because he has his own life now? He's like, yeah. My husband's like, yeah, that's literally what it is. I'm like, so why? Why can't you just be happy for us? You don't see us happy? Why do you come here to disturb the peace? She's like, oh my God, you're just a bad person. I'm like, how am I bad? Because you loved me at one point. So how am I bad? My husband then tells me to go inside and I tell her straight to her face. I'm like, you know what? I'm done trying with you. I'm done. I've tried everything possible. You just will not accept me. So she basically had nothing to say after I said what I said. So I'm like, what's your problem? She starts offending me. She says, forget you, all this stuff. She calls me a snake. And I'm like, how am I a snake? I'm like, do you see how you're acting towards me? She's like I said, he can always find another. You're just temporary. I'm like, why does he need to find another? Why does he need to find another? You don't like him with any woman. You did this to every woman that he's been with. And she's like, well, it's because none of them. I'm like, exactly, you're proving my point. You just don't want him with anybody. And then she's like, oh, it's taking everything in me not to hit you right now. I was like, yo, are you hearing your mother? And he's like, what did you just say? He's like, go ahead, hit her. Hit her. See how fast you're not coming here again. So then I had to go inside because he was just like, this is gonna get crazy. Go inside. So I went inside, and that's when I called my mom, and she came over. So this whole entire week, I have been saving her avocados, right? So I went outside, or avocado seeds, because she loves to plant just like my husband does. So I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna save them for her. Well, this is so cool. There's like the warning sign on the, anyways. I saved her the seeds, so I was like, let me go take them outside to her and tell her, like, I'm such a bad person, but like every time you need my help, or every time I'm right there. I'm literally right there. If she needs me to translate for her, if she needs me to go somewhere with her and translate for her, or like just simply go somewhere with her or be there for her, I'm there. Like, I am there. I'm there. Even though she treats me so bad, I'm there. So I go out there and I'm like, so I'm such a bad person, but every time I'm here doing all this for you, like, look at these seeds. I've been saving, there was like 4 or 5 avocado seeds. I mean, I eat avocado, but not that much. And I made sure that I at least ate them all, or at least like if they got bad, I at least took the seed out and saved it for her. She's like, I don't want it. You have bad intentions. I'm like, no, I don't. I really don't. So my mother arrives. My mom's a very, very good mediator. So she's like, she goes outside and she tells her, hey, what's going on? And the first thing she said to my mother was, this lets you know the person she is. What, are you out here to speak for your daughter? My mom's like, no. And you're not gonna fight with me either. I'm here to speak with you to try to figure out a solution. So don't come here and talk about my daughter, because my daughter has already said everything she had to say to you. Just like you've done the same back. You need to call when you come here, just like I call. You need to respect their wishes, their boundaries, their relationship, just like I do. There has been times where I don't agree with something that Hyman does, but you do not see me here venting to her, talking poorly about him to her. It just doesn't happen. I stay in my lane, and you need to do the same. No, I'm the mother. I do whatever I want. My mother then told her, if you're not going to reason, mind you, I want you guys to keep in mind my husband this whole time is trying everything to get her on the same page as all of us. And she's like, no. And then my husband, this was the breaking point when she told my mom, you guys are the same, so I don't want to hear anything from you. My husband goes, you know what? You're not coming here again. If you can't call me, don't come. Do not come to my house if you can't call me. And guess what? Even if you call me and you do come to my house, do not even plan. If you have even a plan of coming here and talking poorly about my wife, do not come. You are not welcome here with negativity. You are not welcome here unannounced. And that's how it's going to be. When my mom came inside and told me how my husband was standing up for me and standing his ground, it was insane. She then started crying, and my husband said to her, stop with the crying, stop with the drama, stop with the show. Enough is enough. I have seen countless times for years of you treating her poorly and treating her like this, and you never change. I have seen this woman, he was talking about me, I have seen this woman do everything, even though she is so angry at the way you treat her. I have seen her do everything in her power for you guys to have a relationship. And to have the relationship you used to have, because we had a relationship, and you don't want to do anything about it. You do not want to accept her. Well, these are my wishes. If you show up here unannounced, you're being kicked out. So don't come unannounced, and don't come to talk crap.
Watch how the mother-in-law reacts to seeing her new daughter as a bride.
I'm good. I got it. What I've been saying this whole pregnancy? You ain't eating. I'm not kitty cat. Just make sure you're alright.
Don't do it!
Breathe in through the nose.
Oh my God, you are beautiful.
I told Terrell the best was yet to come. And you came into his life. I'm so blessed to have you.
I know.
I love you so much.
I love you too.
Thank you for taking my babies
No problem.
as your grandbabies.
They are.
Thank you for accepting me and everything I come with. Thank you for loving me
Always.
genuinely.
Always.
I am so happy to be your daughter-in-law. Thank you. I feel like a bonus daughter, for real.
Yes, absolutely.
I have a relationship with you outside of Terrell, and that is what has meant the most to me. So thank you.
I love you.
Love you too.
Yes. You look gorgeous.
Ready? 1, 2, 3. Baby! Ay, yung siya. Is it a baby or not a baby? Yes! You can take a pic? Baby! Oh my gosh!
Surprise! Last baby.
Last baby!
Wait, what if it's 2 babies in there?
No, it's just 1 baby.
My mother-in-law's reaction to finding out we are having twins.
Talk about it.
Do you know anything? There's 2. Oh my God! Debbie! Are you kidding me?
No.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Are you kidding me?
Do you know what the science is?
Yeah, go on.
I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. So, yeah, you have those mothers who are like obsessed and no one's ever going to be good enough for their son, blah, blah, blah. Because basically, apparently the science is they were unfulfilled in their relationship. They didn't ever really get the man of their dreams. They just got like, a nice man, a good husband,
but
whatever.
they weren't obsessed with him.
So basically, when they have a son, it's their opportunity to make their son into the man of their dreams. They make him very polite, very respectful, just like in their eyes, like good as gold, can do no wrong, the perfect man.
Would marry him if
she could.
His son.
So then it's like the point that no girl will ever be good enough. And then it's like the mothers, of course, spend all these years, building their sons into these what they see as amazing men. And then a girl comes in and takes him away. So they get to reap the rewards and not the mother. So that's apparently the science behind it.
I don't think a lot of men realize that their mother is in love with them. Fellas, it's not normal for your mother to be hostile to your girlfriend or wife. Unwarranted, of course. If she's a piece of shit, she's a piece of shit. And if she is, why are you with her? But if you hear your own mother saying, oh, she's taking you away from me, oh, you always side with her instead of me, it's giving side piece behavior. And I bring this up, a lot of men are like, no woman's ever gonna love me like my mama does. They're not supposed to. Maternal love is supposed to be different from romantic love. A lot of times this happens either from single mothers or women who are married to absolute pieces of crap and they latch onto their sons for the emotional needs that their husbands don't give them. And when they finally come across a woman who's willing to bring it up and be like, that's odd. You dudes get super defensive of your mother. Oh, well, she's all I've ever had. She raised me. Yeah. And if she wasn't unhealthily attached to you, she would want you to find happiness. She should want to have a healthy relationship with the woman that you choose to spend your life with. Your mother should not be fighting for your attention. I don't necessarily blame a lot of men for going along with this because they don't know. They grew up and they thought it was normal. But when you have a woman who loves you and she cares about you and they sit you down and they say, this is a problem, maybe listen to her.
Rose.
Who you calling? Who you calling, Rose? Since when? I think I need to educate you some more. Should I take you to school again?
I'm not doing it again.
All right. We're gonna be respectful.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Yes, Dr. Rose.
Oh, yes, that's much better. I love you.
I love you too, Dr. Rose.
Yes.
Tell me you have a toxic mother-in-law from hell without telling me you have a toxic mother-in-law from hell. I'll go first. If your mother-in-law doesn't like you before you're married, nothing that you do is ever going to be enough for her. Not you fixing her papers, not you giving her the only grandchildren, nothing that you do, not you taking care of her when she breaks her ankle and nobody else is there to help. My husband and I got married August 15th of 2015. We're Hispanic, we're Mexican to be exact. And for us, getting married through the Roman Catholic Church is a big deal. While we were at the wedding venue reception, it was time to do the bouquet toss. And like every bride, I got in a chair, the single ladies, they all formed in the back. And usually when you do the bouquet toss, you toss it at the count of 3. Well, being the bride that I was, I wanted to do something different. So instead of tossing the bouquet at the count of 3, I tossed the bouquet at the count of 2. When I tossed the bouquet, the person that captured the bouquet happened to be my younger sister. And well, everybody, cheered, clapped. My mother-in-law walked over, ex-mother-in-law, walked over and she was like, that doesn't count. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, it doesn't count. You're supposed to toss it at the count of 3, not at the count of 2. You have to do it again. And I felt bad because my sister was the one that had captured the bouquet. How was I going to tell her, hey, it didn't count. We have to do it again. So one of my aunts on my mother's side attended my wedding. My mother wasn't there. She was living in Mexico at the time. So my aunt approached me and she told me, you know what, Yamilet, this is your wedding. You do what you want, not what anybody else wants. You get to decide what to do. If you want to toss the bouquet again and wait till the count of 3, or if you want to leave it as is, just how you threw the bouquet at the count of 2, that's fine too. So I decided that I was going to leave it as is. I was not going to toss the bouquet again because there was no point. Somebody had already captured it, and it was my decision to toss it at the count of 2. Well, all hell broke loose. My ex-mother-in-law got super upset. She started raising her voice. She started yelling things, causing a scene to we had a little over 100 guests. Everybody was looking. It was like she was being so loud. Finally, I decided to get up and approach her, and I told her why are you doing this? This is our special day. This is supposed to be something memorable. Why are you causing a scene? This is not fair. And she just went on making passive aggressive comments, saying how if I was going to listen to my aunt, that I should go with my aunt, and that my aunt should just help me babysit the children so that we can go on our honeymoon, and that she was no longer going to babysit my children because apparently I was going to listen to my aunt more than to her. And she just continued and went on and on and on. At the time, my husband and I, we were living on our own. We had 2 children, my 5-year-old daughter and my 1-year-old son. My in-laws, ex-in-laws, were supposed to care for the children while my husband and I went on our honeymoon. I remember that they did a mother-son dance, and I remember my husband telling her, Mom, why are you doing this? This is my wedding. This is a special day for me. And he started crying and she started crying. She never apologized. I remember we went on our honeymoon, and one of my cousins helped us watch the children for our honeymoon. And keep in mind, this was not the first time that she caused a scene. When my husband and I married through the court about 5 years prior to our church wedding, she also caused a scene, and she was trying to get my mom kicked out of my wedding. And she also caused a scene when I gave birth to my daughter at the hospital. That's just one of the few things, or many things, that she did during the time that I was married to my husband.
Both of the mamas in the house, y'all. My mama and mother-in-law in the same house. And I don't know why my mother-in-law caught herself trying to tell me with that big old bell pepper ass nose, talking about I make a difference in their food. No, I don't. I fixed them the same thing. They both wanted turkey and cheese after church. They both got turkey and cheese. What the problem is, and you can't tell nobody on me, this my food. Or whatever. I don't know who she thinks she is. I gave them both the exact same thing. I didn't make no difference in them. They both wanted Funyuns. I gave them what we had, sparkling water, fruit. They got the same thing, y'all. Anybody seeing the difference? I ain't treat her no different. Mama wanted Coke. She can have the rest of that big cake. We weren't doing it but cleaning our car battery anyway. She can kill that or whatever. And I got a snack for that trick. The hell up out of here with all that trying to cause confusion in my house. Get her ass banned up out of here. You won't be able to come back.
I remember a couple years back, my mom told me if a man cannot protect you or stand up for you against his mother, then he is not the man for you. And I would 100% tell my daughter the same thing. Being in a relationship with a man who's in a relationship with his mom or a mama's boy seems like hell. Ideally, a man shouldn't have to choose between his mom or his wife because the dynamic between the mother and son should be a healthy one. He should have differentiated himself from his family of origin. Realigned relationships to prioritize his wife and children if there are any. And mom should expect this, right? Because that's what happens when you launch your children and they begin establishing self, finding love, and creating their own family. A mother with healthy behaviors is not emotionally dependent on her son. She doesn't view her son's partner as a threat or competition or someone who has to appease her in order to be a part of their family. There is no expectation of conformity to her system or her values. There's no desire for control. There is no enmeshment. There's genuine interest in knowing the human her son wants to spend the rest of his life with. There's a desire to have a healthy relationship with this person and an expectation that they are committed to each other, thus committing to a new system. When a man realigns his relationships and commits to a new system, a healthy dynamic looks like his wife, mother, and other extended family members coexisting in their respective roles with boundaries. Any sign of enmeshment between mother and son or the partner's whole family of origin, I would advise my daughter to run for the hills and don't look back.
So, Mom, if we talk about taking you to a home, what are you gonna do?
Yeah, what is your plan if we take you to a home?
Okay, let's start here. I'm not going to a home. What you have to think about is what company, and we hired this man to take care of me wherever I'm living until it gets to the point that we can't do that. So where this is my home, and you all will hire people or go through whatever for me to stay in my own surroundings for as long as I can stay in my surroundings. Matter of fact, you could get a man up in here now.
Got it. Just has to be a man.
No, oh no, I'll take a burlesque girl.
Hey, Norma.
Hey, mommy.
Hey. Yeah, everything's good. Ralphie's not helping me with the baby at all. He's just laying there, not doing nothing. So I don't know if you want to talk to him and tell him that he needs to help me out.
Why is she calling you? What are you talking about? What's happening? Why are you calling my mom? Huh? I'm sick. I'm sick, Ma.
You sick of what?
I'm sick. Shit, what are you calling my mom for?
Bro, you need to help me out. You just been laying there all day.
So you just call my mom and snitch on me?
Yeah.
What do you mean? I'm literally laying down on my phone. Like, what's going on?
With your phone, so you laying down with your phone in your hand.
On my MacBook. Like, I'm just chilling.
Your MacBook, so you don't got time to fucking play.
I'm a grown man, Ma.
I would drive 1 hour all the way when you way out. You're supposed to.
Really? You really call my mom right now? I'm hanging up. My bye. Why you call my mom? Now you give me a
Because
trouble,
you need to do something. The hell? That's the only person that'll get your ass up.
Whatever, bro.
The new thing my mother-in-law likes to do is text me while I'm at work and ask me if I want the kids to get off the bus at her house and then for her to make dinner for us, and we can come and get at like 5:30 and get the kids and have dinner and then go home. That's what she's been doing like twice a week. She'll text and be like, I'm free if you want the kids to get dropped off, because she lives on the same bus route. If you want the kids to get dropped off at my house, I'll make dinner. Girl, you don't have to ask me twice. Not only does that mean I get home from work and I can have my little workout, I can today I went for a walk with my husband alone. But this woman is such a good cook. Like last week, I had the best carnitas of my life at her house. It was pure magic. My biggest flex in motherhood is my mother-in-law. 100%.
Have the wedding rings. You told us you were going to bring the wedding rings here and give them back to him.
I wanted to, but we were rushing and I forgot. But I did tell Derek.
Now, wait a minute. You can't just gloss over that. You told us you were going to bring the rings and give them back to your son. Where are they?
It's not out of intention not bringing them. I forgot them. I was rushing, and I'm telling you the truth. I wanted to bring them so I can give it to him. I tried to get those rings back to Derek
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago when you came over the house.
Well, hold on.
Yes, she did.
Hold on. You did say you were going to bring them, but then you didn't.
I forgot. Now look. Don't make me lie. I'm not lying. I forgot him. I had him out on the dresser to bring him, and I forgot him. He can have his wedding ring.
Dr. Phil, can I say
please.
No, we need to talk more. I need to talk more.
In regards to the wedding rings, when I came down for my sister's graduation that I was banned from, I came down and I tried to do things the right way for all of us. I called law enforcement to get involved. I called the police department to be a personal escort over to my father and mother's residence so that we can retrieve our things. All of my military achievements, all 8 years worth, are in their home. And I did not give it to you. I held it. You're my parents.
Gave it to them.
Anyway,
You gave
I gave them. I let them have my stuff as far as for safekeeping. I'm deployed all the time. I don't have anywhere that's like permanent for me to stay. And on behalf of my brother's wife's wedding rings. So the police officers come over there and they say, hey, basically we're going to try to help you guys get your stuff back. So my father comes outside.
I call the cops. Derek calls
Hold on. Let her speak.
So my father father comes outside, as he always does, as a spokesperson, and for the police department. Police department comes up and asks, like, so they basically want the things back. So he says, well, my wife say she can't find them right now. Right. You had an opportunity to give the rings back but why didn't you give them when the police department?
But y'all cussing us out.
Hold on.
You didn't even come outside.
Y'all need to tell me.
You didn't even.
I did say that, Mom. I'm sorry.
You said wish I was dead.
Mom, I did.
Your wife said she wish I was dead.
Hell, what about that time you took TT's stuff? TT died in 2010 and threw it away.
Okay, stop.
That was years.
You know how
Okay, I'm going to ask you to leave the stage if you don't stop yelling. It's just that. Listen, you don't need to tell me how to do my job. You're either going to stop yelling or I'm going to excuse you from here.
That's it for this one. In my opinion, I would say this. A big factor is the sons themselves standing for you guys up. Like, they need to stand up for you guys and come up and be like, yo, mom, please. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I know some mothers can't take that because they're not used to their sons coming and actually speaking up to them and telling them, yo, like, you gotta chill and this and that, because they're used to that little boy. They've seen that little boy since he was a little boy, and they can't imagine this grown-ass guy is telling them to stop. Like, who are you? That's just a big thing. And it's like, it goes down to boundaries. Yes, and mothers as well, they need to understand your sons are growing, and they're going to, once you have a kid and a son, you have to give it up. Like, at some point you just have to cut the cord and let him go live. It's hard, it may be hard, it may be this, it may be hard, but just try to just make a better dynamic. There's some mother-in-laws who are so great. They love their grandchildren, they love their daughter-in-laws, you know what I'm saying, their son-in-laws and all that. I would just advise you guys, just be a better mother-in-law, be a better mother, a mother-in-law that you would, you know what I'm saying, like, just treat people better, like, just be a good one. Like, I've seen in this video others, like some mother-in-laws, like, coming, taking that load off of you. Those are the type of mother-in-laws we need, because they know they've been through that experience. They come in like, yo, I know you were at work, I could go get the kids, I could take them to my house, cook them a meal. Those are the mother-in-laws that really wanted to be a mother, to be a grandma, actually, because they love your kids down, they take the load off you, and they still treat their son with respect. So everything is just boundaries there, like, you know what I'm saying. And being family, I already know, like, you never always gonna get along forever. Like, shit, it's just not, it's not possible to always get along. It just doesn't happen in life. You're obviously gonna bump heads, but like, you always have to find a way to bring in the boundaries, bring in the respect and all that. Another thing was the popping up. We hate a pop-up queen, honey. The hell is you popping up for? I'ma just let you guys leave y'all thoughts in the comment section. I don't even want to deep dive into popping up and not, because it's just a mess, y'all. It's been wild. There's a lot of topics. I can't even touch to all of them, but you guys let me know what you think down in the comment section. I have missed you guys. I know it's been a minute since I posted, but I've been posting on my other page, my vlogging page. A lot has been happening, so I have a whole vlog coming up explaining what to do and what's going on, what's been going on. I'll be dropping my vlogs there so you can keep you up to date, when I'm not posting on my main page that often, but like, I will be more consistent like I've always been in the past, like, literally. So with that being said, again, I want to appreciate everybody who's come here to the end of my videos. If you've clicked, like, commented, subscribed, engaged with it, found some interest in it, found something sensible, learned something new, I really appreciate all you guys who always coming and standing up with me, like, literally engaging and doing all that good stuff. It doesn't go unnoticed. Like I said, I be meeting y'all in the comment section, and I know these days I be seeing y'all. I know a lot of y'all who are even comment every time, who have become members. Y'all be giving badges by YouTube because y'all fuck with me like I fuck with y'all, for real, period. Yeah. So it's just in the middle of the week. We are hoping to have a great continuous week, you guys. I hope you guys are having a good time. I hope the week is getting smoother and nice because it's Wednesday. We're gonna have a couple good days before the weekend, and you know what I'm saying, just live well. So yeah, with all that being said, I know I'm all over the place, y'all, but like, I just had to get a lot of stuff out. But like I said, go to my vlogging channel because I'll be posting a lot more stuff there so you guys can catch up with my life. And with that being said, y'all, thank you so much. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.